You must get bored with that. It's like, nope, not at all. Okay, guys, game number 1 coming your way. It's an impromptu show match. 25 bucks on the line per game here. We've got a bunch of high-level players, and let's see if we can have a little fun on a Saturday night. It's going to be Spring playing as the Chinese. We can see those extra villagers in the early loom coming in, and Miguel teaming. Spring and Miguel on a team here on the left of the map. And on the right, now let's take team colors off, we'll have Daniel and Project Belgium. So it's a Chinese-Turk mirror. Seems like these guys must have picked mirrored civs. And we're ready to rock and roll into this game. It's Killer Beat. Thanks for being here. Thanks everybody who stopped by after the escape matches. And I'm glad that you want to check out some Age here. Kind of a late night for a Europe stream, but I think you guys over in the Americas, Canadas, and South America, you guys are probably just getting rocking and rolling. You're not even like getting dressed for going out to the club yet. You're still chilling out. We do have a soundboard here in the channel. Let's see if we can find a use for it as the matches go on. For now, I guess we'll wait for some quick walls.
Quick wall. Fail wall.
We have a soundboard. We're not afraid to use it, but hopefully I can use it on something that actually makes sense. Let's see. Turks will be so useless. Well, in a team game here, Chinese and Turks, I'm thinking that often in 2v2, you want to have one player going cavalry, one player going archers. That could work out okay. I mean, Turks can go cavalry. They're not the greatest civ when it comes to counters. Skirms, spears, don't even bother. But going into cavalry early, especially in the form of scouts, which will get the free upgrade, maybe followed by some knights, camels, depending on the situation, I guess, could be nice, along with some Chinese archers. But let's see. Let's see, guys. Let's see how this shapes up. These guys are all players you should know. It says they're 1600s because they're playing for match stats only. But everybody in this game room is right around the 2.2k level, or slightly above, I guess, for Miguel in 1v1. I guess in team games it's probably like 2k for all of them, since team game ratings are usually lower. Thank you for the biddies, Wilding. Great to meet you in Hamburg. Hamburg, you're so damn cool. Oh, man. You're so damn cool. No layman going on in this game early on, guys. Let's circle around the horn and see if we can find anybody trying to get something frisky going. It's going to be Daniel with the first scout forward, but it does not look, well, unless he goes for that boar, doesn't look like he's going to find much. Right now, heading straight for the TC. Okay, let's look around at bases. Daniel with 3 vills on wood. Not the greatest backwood line. It's quite thin, but I think he can probably handle it. Deer very close to his TC. If he wants to have a little food boost, he should be able to afford that nicely. Front gold, front stones for our player in green. So it's going to be a little difficult for him to get his map rolling, but he's Turks, and he's probably going scouts. So as long as he can get an army out and get a good food boost going early on, he should be fine. Daniel's teammate will be Project Belgium. These guys played against each other in Split B Tuesdays the first week. That was an event that I hosted a couple months ago, and they put on a great show. These are 2 players who you can consider up and coming if you're talking about up and coming to being like very tip-top level pros. I think these guys are on their way to that direction. We will see. We'll see what they bring for us today. 4 vills on the back wood line for our Chinese player, Project Belgium. He's got front stone, wallable front of his map, gold off to the side. He's got a map, I guess, is how I would summarize this. I don't love it, but I don't hate it, so he'll have to work with it, and we'll have to try to enjoy it. Spring on his side is playing in the blue. He is Chinese versus Project Belgium's Chinese, and they're very far from each other. So if they decided to go archers or something of that ilk, it could be a long walk across the map, which means a big commitment if you're going to push out and try to do some damage. Back gold for Spring, back stone for Spring is nice, but the front wood line is probably a bit of a liability. It's not very thick. If he gets archers in this area or towers, could be a possibility as well. That wood line could be real problems. And the next closest wood line, you don't want this one. The next closest wood line is really far from his TC. So Spring's got some good things going, but he does have a couple things to I don't know, to be a little sad about. That wood line is not my favorite. Red player Miguel is going to have berries, wood next to each other. He's going to have a front gold. He's going to have feudal age on the way. Actually, feudal for Daniel on the way. Miguel with 1 more vill coming. Back wood line, back stone for Miguel. Manageable, but not great. Everybody has a little bit of work to do in the early game, and that work is going to start now. Spring clicking up to feudal at 7 minutes 30 seconds. Daniel at 7:37. So they're ready to get things rolling here in the feudal age. Project Belgium is up on 23 vills. He's playing as Chinese, so his uptime will look a little weird and his villager count will look a little high. But he's going over to gold, and it looks like he's going to go into some archer play. I'm very interested that Spring is up so early. Spring is, I don't know what's on his mind. Spring is maybe going to drop a stable and go scouts. His teammate in the red, Miguel, is the one who's moving over now to some gold. So maybe it will actually be the Turks player going for the archers in this game. But let's see. Let's see, guys. Just trying to keep up with the chat a little bit. Let's see. Spam this noodle to help Skadoodle. What is up with that spam this emote to blank this person? It seems to be like so popular. It's really weird. Someone had like spam this fiddle to, I don't know. If you like Skittle, I can't remember what the punchline was, but I remember looking over during the game and thinking like, what? Huh? I don't really understand Twitch chat all the time. I'm pretty old, guys, so, you know, it is what it is. Our red player, Miguel, is now up. Miguel, we saw earlier on in the day, playing some 1v1s on escape. He is going an archery range and into archers. His opponent is going for a stable. We will see an archery range, presumably, for our player, Project Belgium, who has just now finished his barracks. There's the archery range coming, actually double ranges, and Spring will go for the stable. So what do you guys think about that? The Chinese player going for the stable and the Turks player going for the archers. I suppose it can be fine. It's not a super long-term solution to be making Turk archers, but maybe it can be okay. Could be Skadoodle is a CSGO player from Cloud9, and it's his birthday today. His team got stomped as well. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, no Arbalest here for the Turks player. Obviously, you don't want to get caught going into Imp with a bunch of Arbs, or rather a bunch of crossbows. That just doesn't seem super ideal. But it can be fine, I'm sure. I'm sure they have a plan in mind. We've got double range production now for Miguel. It is going to continue to be archers for him. The scouts for Daniel are chasing around that initial scout, so he is probably going to be GG sometime soon. Blue player Spring coming forward with scouts. Spring, an extremely experienced player on Arabia Huns, so having some scout play early, pretty normal Huns meta, is probably something that plays to his strongest strengths, and he will roll forward now and try to hit Project Belgium. Belgium does have some wood lines here that are a bit weak. One spear, though, camping in the very back, and one spear camping near his gold. As long as he doesn't take the bait and get dragged out of his base chasing those scouts, he should be fine. He and his teammate Daniel are starting to get some palisades up to wall in. And if they can complete those palisade walls, they will be a lot safer versus these scouts that Spring has been sending around the map. Let's see. Killer B, how was Leary socially at Nilly's Apartment Cup? I had a feeling he wasn't liked that much by the other players. No, that's definitely not true, France. I mean, I can understand if you had that feeling. I'm not saying your feelings are wrong, bro. But no, definitely not. Those guys were all super nice to Leary. He's not an awkward guy at all. I think that's what your message said, right? How was he socially? I had a feeling. Oh, you had a feeling he wasn't liked. Okay, yeah, he was definitely liked. Actually, I think he and Doubt had sort of like a really good friendship going. Viper has a ton of respect. He's a super nice guy to everybody, and especially Leary. I mean, nobody has any reason to be mean to Leary. There were people who were giving, like, at different moments, giving MBL some crap just for fun. You know, like, oh, you know, MBL, you suck. Like, just being funny about it, not being serious. These guys all respect each other. But I mean, Leary's 16. You'd have to be quite a jerk, you know, to like pick on a 16-year-old kid if you're like 25 for no reason, you know. But I think MBL is fair game because he dishes out so much funny stuff on other people as well. A little team attack here from Spring and Miguel. They're trying to get into Daniel's base. Daniel right now is going to have his own scouts coming home. It looks like he will be safe against the scouts for the moment. His teammate Project Belgium is going to commit to walking all the way across the map to help him out, which is probably necessary because he's 2v1, but it's not fun. I mean, this is an army for Belgium that is supposed to A, guard his base, and B, do some damage later on, and they could get caught out. Belgium and Daniel are in a kind of precarious spot right now. They're going to pincer this army, and they need to get a good fight. Spring right now is without any upgrades on his scouts, and so is our green player Daniel. We've got fletching in for both sets of archers, but the orange player's archers are a much bigger set, so Miguel will head home. Miguel's got more archers at home, but look at this. Oh, you know, I think Daniel can get in behind those archers and help his teammate to snipe the rest of that group. Right now, he's poking them from behind, but I think he can get out in front of that group. Miguel's on the way with more units, so it is probably going to be a situation where these guys want to go back. But good damage nonetheless in defense for the Alliance squad. Miguel will turn this around and flip the script, but he will not have so much help from Spring for the moment. Spring is transitioning units, I suppose, at home, mostly skirmishers over there with double ranges down. So Spring can defend himself, but Miguel is kind of on his own now. Is going to push back out and see if he can damage Project Belgium and Daniel. For now, Belgium is going to hang out near his teammate's tower and hope that he can avoid his buddy Daniel taking too much damage. Daniel is kind of free to roam, and his scouts will go and get busy. Let's see. Oh, in that case, Larry was the guy who was abused. He kicked Doubt's butt. Yeah, I know. Doubt and Leary had a cool friendship going. I think they really enjoyed playing some chess matches and hanging out. Everybody in that group was pretty strong at chess. I mean, Eddie was the champion of France. He was there playing as well. Doubt was really good. Hiko was quite a phenomenal player, I would say. And MBL was giving people a lot of trouble. I think MBL might have been the best out of the pro players in that group playing chess. Really good times at Nilly's Apartment Cup. I feel really, really lucky to have been part of it. And I think I'm going to put out a video in the next few weeks. I don't know if people will really care, but I was thinking like, oh God, forget about this video. Daniel forgot the walls. D-Lam forgot the wall. What the heck, man? Oh no. Daniel on the way up to Castle. He meant to wall up that area, but he didn't. And Miguel dives in and grabs a Vil, pushing Daniel off of stone for a little while. Daniel is not doing too much inside of Spring's base with a couple of scouts. He, for now, is looking like he's kind of trapped. Found out what Spring was up to, found out that Spring has towered the front of his base, and is now going to lose these scouts for really, really cheap. Scale Barding armor is on the way for Daniel. It looks like he's going to have a lot of trouble with that front gold. Miguel continues to put pressure on that front gold. What good is it being to Castle Age if you don't have any gold in the bank? 58 total gold right now for Daniel, who's adding in more scouts. One stable scouts for him. He's going to have Project Belgium nearby to bolster his chances, but that leaves Project Belgium a little bit open at home. Zach just released the Doubt interview and documentary. Awesome. We'll watch that in the interim of these games, guys. That Doubt interview was fun. We've got the light cav upgrade in. +1 defense is in for Daniel. Daniel's on the way to forging, and he and Belgium are going to push out and try to do some counter damage. You got to say, though, Miguel really hurt Daniel on this front gold, and D-Lam is not going to take any time to waste. He's going to immediately drop a TC on that front gold pile. Right now, things are not that scary for Miguel. He needs to micro back. His opponent, Belgium, will have crossbowmen sooner. But as long as he can hold some of his territory, working back toward his TC, he should be able to hold 2v1. And that's going to leave Spring the option to do whatever Spring wants to do. He can come over and help Miguel. Oh, there was a hole in the wall. Looks like that piece got knocked down, and I will eat my words because that's pretty painful. That's pretty painful. I thought we were going to see this army micro back. I thought we were going to see slow but sure territory given up, but I was wrong. Spring is going to, by the looks of it, come over and help his buddy. This is a lot more damage potential than I expected on this side. I thought those units were going to go up around here, which would have not gotten them anywhere, but guess what? These guys are really good at this game, so they're headed straight for pay dirt. Crossbows rolling in. Bodkin arrow is already done. Miguel's still got a huge number of archers here at 32 military. He should be quite okay to defend against this group of crossbows, but he needs a few moments. He needs crossbowmen and he needs Bodkin, and he might not be able to afford Bodkin. Now here it comes. So Spring got halfway across the map to help his teammate, and now he seems to be walking the other direction. Belgium back at home has added in more crossbows, an extra TC to protect that back wood line, and it's all good in the hood for him at home, I do believe. Daniel's front TC came up. That's a really key point of the map for him, and his third town center is coming as well. So after some really good early game feudal damage from Miguel and Spring, a lot of good damage coming in from the Alliance boys. A lot of good damage. I mean, this timing of this attack put them from being slightly behind, I would say, 5% behind in chances of winning to being ahead in the chances of winning. But well, let's see. Belgium will cling to the hill, take as much of Miguel's crossbowman force as he can, sending some runners, trying to be cheeky and make his opponent miss. We will also see Daniel run in and submarine his couple of light cav. All of this in hopes of just getting some value out of this raid. The villagers were killed earlier on, so now it's just time to kill as many of those units as possible. In the meantime, it will be crossbows and skirmishers inside the base of Project Belgium. Belgium will reinforce this position pretty quickly and should be okay. Now it's Spring with the hill advantage, and now it's Spring trying to get some value out of his units. Miguel just lost 25% of his eco. Yeah, Miguel, lots of idle time, several dead villagers, is now on 32 vills. He and his teammate were rolling. He and Spring looked good, but Spring had a hiccup of a couple of minutes where his army just wasn't very active. And because of that, 2v1 damage came in on Miguel. We'll see if they can recover from this. I don't know if they can, but they're going to give it a go. Spring will lose everything on that side. We can assume that he got some value out of it, but probably not enough value. I mean, the hill bonus is nice, but it's a lot of dead units. It does not seem like the corpse count here is really massively in Spring's favor. Lots of corpses around here, guys.
I see dead people.
Gotta drop the creepy drops on you from time to time. I see dead people, indeed. It will be a 4th TC coming up for Spring in the back of his economy. It just feels like one of those games where Spring is going to boom uncontrollably with 4 TCs, but Miguel, he's already been hit once, and will he have enough military support from a booming Spring to keep his economy going? I don't know, because Daniel's on the map with some knights. Daniel has a great boom going as well. I believe it's 3 TCs, but that boom seems to be turning around into some double or triple stable knights potentially soon. Spring's boom is turning around into more crossbows, which is okay, but he's really low on the total number right now. It's not that scary at 16 total crossbows. And Miguel is really left holding the bag because Spring can't beat Belgium in a crossbow war, at least not numbers-wise, and these knights are unabated. There's no equal to them from Miguel. What does impromptu mean, Killer B? Sorry for being dumb. I don't think you're dumb, and I probably used it wrong, but impromptu, at least I think it means that something is happening like kind of off the cuff, randomly. Like, I think it's the same root of the word improvise, but I don't really know. I honestly don't know, guys. When I moved to Sweden, where I live now, I've used to be in America for a long time, spoke English my whole life. I had an exchange with a woman at a shoe store. She was selling me shoes, and, you know, she helped me through it. I was trying to speak Swedish, but I couldn't get it done, so we switched to English. And at the end, I told her, like, hey, I'm really sorry about the language barrier. I'm still learning. And she was like, your English will get better. Like, just keep practicing. Your English, it will improve. It's like, I meant the Swedish. I didn't think my English was that bad. Anyway, speaking of bad, Spring is losing an army on that side, and now he's starting to lose some ground, transitioning over to some stone. Wants to get a castle maybe and some chooks for the late game, but I don't know if his team is going to survive late game. They need some good things to happen, and they need it to happen quick. Miguel is here for some raids. He's got about 8 or 9 units out here. He will get a couple vills, but Daniel could easily circle around and take that group down. So let's see if that happens. For now, it is again a 2v1 attack. It's the Alliance crew doubling up on Spring. This Mangonel does not have long to live, and it did not get much damage put out. So the castle looks like it's going up for Spring, and it looks like Daniel and Project Belgium are going to have to roam somewhere else, but not a super comfortable spot for him. Empire France got his message deleted, but I think it's fine to let that one through. There you go, the doubt interview. Sorry about that, man. I gotta get my bot game in better order. Hey, from Australia, Killer B. I enjoyed you casting at the Knack. Glad I found you on Twitch. Hey, welcome. Thanks everybody who followed. I think we just got like, I don't know, 20 follows, which is really crazy. Really crazy, guys. We passed 3K followers like a week or two ago. I don't know, man. It's crazy to think that 3,000 people followed this channel. That's crazy to me. I really enjoy doing this, but it's hard for me to envision that there are 3,000. That's like a, I don't know, it's like a small gymnasium full of people. It's crazy. I appreciate the support, everybody, and hopefully I can keep bringing you some cool events, and we can keep growing, making this thing even more fun. Knights are starting to come in hither and thither all around the base of Miguel. Miguel does not look that pressured by this. Daniel, by the way, is going to have Bloodlines +1/+2. His opponent is going for those Turk Cav Archers with +2/+1. Miguel can be okay against some raiding if he gets his military count up a bit more. The person I worry about is Spring. Spring is going to get 2v1 for a long time. There's already 6 knights over here that are whacking away at these mangonels. That's going to give Project Belgium a massive advantage. Look at it, 9 military for Spring, 26 military for Belgium. So just in that dynamic of 1v1, it would be hard for Spring, but throw in about a dozen knights with upgrades and things get even harder for our buddy Spring. In the meantime, Miguel is trying to get back on the map with some raiding, but he will kill some knights here. He will be annoying, but there's no real good answer for him with such a small group of CA. Those CA, by the way, without the Bloodlines upgrade, without the Ballistics upgrade, are not super strong. Miguel is saying to his teammate, let's GG. Ooh, but Spring gets a pretty nice mango shot, and it looks like that is not enough. GG comes in, and game 1 goes to Alliance, Project Belgium, and Alliance, Daniel. A nice game there, guys, and wow, I'm really happy. Really happy to have this impromptu show match to bring to you guys. Let's check out the achievements real quick, and then let's see if we want to jump into another match. So, Spring is going to have a really rough-looking kill death, but that's because he was 2v1 there at the very end. Daniel and Belgium took a lot of pressure in the Feudal Age, and I thought Daniel's gold on the front of his base was in trouble, but he solidified that position. I'll show you that one more time. He solidified that spot. He and Belgium picked the right fights. They picked the right moment to push out, and won that game pretty much hands down after the raid in Miguel's base. Pretty much had it in Miguel's base. This front gold was a liability. Actually, this one, it was getting raided and annoyed over and over. We saw Daniel end up TCing it, which was super ideal for him. But without help from Belgium coming over, I don't know if he would ever have solidified that gold position. So really great team play from these guys. I mean, we always think about team games, and we always think like, oh man, these guys attacked beautifully together, and they had this beautiful coordinated raid and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, a coordinated defense is as good as a coordinated raid. Once Miguel's numbers got knocked down a bit, he was too weak to hold up at home. He was a little slower to castle. Very nice win for Alliance, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. And we got another one coming.